You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Listen to what I'm saying, and you will understand, perhaps, what I'm trying to imply here.
That's very patronizing.
Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the f you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from London about Palestine.
Stepping time!
Palestine.
Stepping time!
Palestine.
Stepping time! Stepping time! Come on, mighty!
Palestine.
Stepping time! Stepping time! Stepping time!
Palestine.
Never need a reason, never need a rhyme, and stepping time!
Palestine.
Get your knees up! Get your knees up!
Palestine.
Get your knees up!
Palestine.
Never need a reason, never need a rhyme, get your knees up!
Palestine.
The BBC were ambitious. They always wanted the show to be bigger. They just believed in Doctor Who. It's an old, fantastic tradition. The BBC had plans to supersize it. And here we are. I absolutely agreed with everything they were planning.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
There isn't an official Bible, and a lot of it's in my head. I do know the entire television history, so there's a lot of flexibility. But yes, I do have a list of not a list of rules. The timelines got mixed up, and I'm a little bit more diligent.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
Their lead actor needs to be limitless. I want someone who's good at everything and describe, and we've absolutely got that with shooting. It needs to feel very safe for a young audience to come and watch it. There's a kind of childlikeness to the Doctor that fits children.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
It's astounding. This mortal really is something else. Look at that brilliant form. There can be no doubt. This is the true power, complete in all its majesty. This is Autonomous Ultra Incel.
Twisted lie, built to break us, make us comply. They poison the heroes, rewrite the tales, turn legends to dust, leave us frail. But we're not done, we won't bow down. Through the wreckage, we'll take the crown. Steel hearts ignite, fire in our veins. Freedom's calling, breaking the chains. Can't erase what we already know. HyperDrive now, let's fucking go.
All right. All right. It's time once again. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. Straight out of hell. It's WILL, a higher class of human, a better type of bastard, and it's drive time somewhere, which means it's hyperdrive time everywhere, theoretically. So, ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between, welcome once again on another voyage of discovery, racing through the wastes of the internet to the further reaches of our sanity, on a never-ending quest to rid the universe of absolute bollocks. Yeah. Oh yeah. Before we set off, please ensure that you have your brains firmly inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs screwed to the screen for your own safety's sake. Let's see who's already here. We've got a few people already today, and they're quite chatty. Wow. Good Lord. Might just be that I actually set up the stream a little early this time instead of doing it at the last minute, but hey, we'll see how it goes. So James Nameless is here. It says 100% Hypnotic's kid. That would be the Hermione casting. It's a lore thing. You had to see Hypnocast yesterday. That's why he's a void being now. He straight up ghosted that child support. Allegedly. I couldn't possibly comment. Dementia Sweet says, I'm ready. So am I, thankfully, for once. Although, actually, it was a bit of a touch and go for a bit. I was woken up about an hour and a quarter ago by apparently an earthquake and a colossal thunderclap. So that was a bit worrying. I thought for a minute my power was about to be knocked out, but no, we survived, as we always did. Dividing Dragon is here with happy non-denominational blessings for everybody. Equal opportunity blessings, guys. Get your blessings here. Get them here now while they're hot. Lilith's here saying, hi, Will, with a heart. And hello to you too, Lilith. When me monies arrive, I make be green agains. Yar. Good for you. Ready to get willed. Ooh. Sounds predatory. Well, hey, good for you. Your body is ready. All right, then. Who else? We got Sardox here. Hey, my grifters, saying hi. Going to be lurking again tonight. Long day and tired. Might doze off. Lurk away, good sir. Lurk away. No problem. No problem at all. We will be here for a couple of hours talking about some absolute bollocks from Doctor Who, some absolute bollocks from the games industry, and some absolute bollocks from, well, is it absolute bollocks from HBO? I don't know. You know, I'm not really that bothered by any of that casting stuff, but we'll talk about it anyway because, you know, we have to because, you know, the grind is real. No, there's a vested interest in them not screwing up Harry Potter, so we will be getting to that. But of course, we also have some other stuff to talk about in the meantime. Wow, you guys are chatting. Cookie Kaiju is here. Shout out to you, legend. Sup all. uafomega, another legend, says hello. Hello to you as well. What else is happening just in time? Says hello to Divining Dragon. Ah, no, and good morning to me too. Yeah, it is. It's morning for you as well, I believe. You're in China, I think. Yeah, good. Then we got some bollocks in the chat. That's nice. I think that was for RTD. R to the E to the TARD, to spell it in its fullest of full ways. The guy is hopeless, actually, and the show is felted to all belief. Honestly, we are going to have to talk a little bit about Doctor Who because I've just seen a load of cope this morning, and some of it's so damn cringe. I had to queue it up because what kind of Doctor Who felt tuber am I if I don't cover every pathetic attempt to run interference for the show that's absolutely and obviously dying? And if somehow it were to lumber on being, you know, forced through by Strawstring and Staples budgets, the BBC just being hard-headed as hell, well, so be it. I guess I won't be able to retire from Doctor Who so early, which would suck, actually. It's hard when you get into Doctor Who, you go down a rabbit hole, and then YouTube thinks you're just a Doctor Who channel, and it can really mess up the rest of the algorithm for you. But hey, it's the bed I made, and I will lie in it. Okay, that's enough pleasantries for now. We have lots and lots to talk about. So if you find that you are liking the stream, whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, by the way, because we are on Rumble right now as well, which is good to say. As far as I'm aware, we're on Rumble anyway. And yeah, we are. Just double checking because I'm still new at this Rumble rubbish. But if you're watching and you're liking, then you know what to do. Come on.
The stream.
Some channels have been forced recently onto Rumble, and that has been... you know what? I keep wanting to sort of default to say that it sucks to be them, but they're all doing really well and thriving over there. So the way I look at Rumble right now is kind of an insurance policy, which I need to build up. Definitely got to put money in the bank. So there we go. We'll be on Rumble as well. Yep, I can see my face out of sync and silented on Rumble, so that's confusing. But there it is anyway, and we've got plenty more to talk about. So before we get into all of that, do remember your in-flight entertainment can be found by hitting the join button. If you have the green for it, then you can go green. It helps keep the ship in the skies, helps reassure me that there's going to be another, 2, 3, 4 months. And if you have any questions or comments, or you just need to pull over for a second, please don't forget to tip your driver in the form of a super chat. Yeah, that's right, baby. Griff. With all that said, let's get into the day's Doctor Who rubbish because, well, I mean, the show is days away from its final episode, apparently. And the ratings are, well...
Don't watch. Turn off the TV. Go and touch grass, please, for God's sake.
Like that. That's how they are. Really, really bad. But we talked about the ratings. We've talked about the viewing figures. I've got my updated spreadsheet, but I don't know if we actually really need it. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, we're going to the unholiest of unholy sin holes on the internet. It's Collider, guys. We're going to Collider. Scraping the barrel today for content's sake. No, that's not true at all. I just look up Doctor Who news, and this was the first thing that came up, and after checking a couple of others, this was the one that made me the most irritated. So there you go. Doctor Who Season 2's Rotten Tomatoes audience score rebounds as early backlash fades. Man, that's some big news, guys. That is some big news. Doctor Who Season 2's Rotten Tomatoes audience score has rebounded. I had to get one of them. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is an article. It's been written by Jake Hodges, whoever that is. It says just one episode remains in Doctor Who Season 2, and the fate of the universe rests. Don't worry, I know it peaks, that recording, I know, but it's not that loud. I went in afterwards and I dropped that volume like a motherfucker, so don't you worry. And the fate of the universe rests in the hands of Ncuti Gatwa's titular, that's ironic, Time Lord. Yeah. Well, let's be fair here. He couldn't save the world if his life literally depended on it. Every time he has saved the world, it's been either through some Deus Ex Machina or he's left it up to someone else. He's literally the most useless Doctor ever. Even when he was facing down with Sutek, you could argue he was the one who destroyed Sutek, but he wasn't really. He really, really wasn't. He just was handed the way to do it and let him do it to himself. So useless. However, the fate of the show itself is still up in the air with suggestions that Disney may retract their deal. Get with the program, Collider. God, you're supposed to be a news outlet. You're like 7 or 8 months behind everyone else. My God. My God, may retract their deal. They have retracted their deal. Don't be stupid. If there was any way the BBC could say, don't worry, guys, if RTD could come out and be like, oh, don't worry, everybody, Disney are all in on another season, so we'll see you next year. There would be a Christmas special this year. There's no Christmas special this year. There's no Christmas special this year, and... There we go. Shout out to James up in the chat. Hello, by the way, modding out there. With the show as it returns solely to the hands of the BBC, dropping. Wait a minute. Hello and whoa. The fate of the show itself is still up in the air, with suggestions that Disney may retract their deal as it returns solely to the hands of the BBC. You've just contradicted yourself. Your ears are fine. Don't worry. It's not that loud. It peaks in the recording, but I dropped the volume by about 7 decibels. So you just think it's too loud, but it's all right, really. Can't be that much louder than I am. I'm basically shouting into a microphone. Anyway, dropping ratings, albeit without the favored 28-day figures. What? What? Oh, no. We don't have the 28-day figures? What? Since when have we given a shit about that? When did anyone ever decide that we cared about 28-day numbers? That's like, do they even do 28-day numbers? We've never seen 28-day numbers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh dear, oh dear. All right, I'll make a quieter version. Well, interesting. It's fun that they've done that, though. But released for the entire season and mixed fan reception have left the timey-wimey series in a precarious position. Huh. So you're admitting that the ratings suck. You're admitting that Disney are out, but you're saying it's May, even though you've said it's going to be only the BBC. So that's confirmed, but it's only that Disney may retract the deal. So you can't have one if the other hasn't happened. What are you fucking talking about? You're amateur hour crap with this, man. This Collider. It's Collider. It's my fault for going to Collider. However, excuse me, this is a position the show has long been used to, with the original axing back in the... Oh, this is such cope. This is such cope. With the original axing... This is a position the show has long been used to, with the original axing back in 1989 and its eventual 2005 return, proving the IP to be durable. No, it's come back once after a long time, after 16 years off the air, during which time I became an adult. It went off the air when I was like 4 years old, and I was 20 when it came back. That's bonkers. That doesn't prove the IP is durable. That proves that someone got lucky once. One factor that is often pivotal with such decision-making is the aforementioned fan reception, with Season 2's audience rating on review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes rising ever since its initial score after scoring 46% following the opening 2 episodes. That figure has now risen by 12% to 58%. Holy shit!
I don't really care, Margaret.
Okay, so all right, 58%. Whoopity-doo. It's still rotten. That's ridiculous. That's frankly ridiculous. So we've got 95%. Remember, guys, this was 100% when the show first came out. And you're like celebrating. You're going to throw a parade and write an article for 12% increase over 7 episodes that have included some of the worst viewing figures the show has ever seen. You're having a laugh, aren't you? What are you talking about? This is madness. There's no sense in this whatsoever. What the hell? All right. Anyway, 58% is the highest audience score for the series since 2017. Oh shit. That's damning, isn't it? 58% is the highest it has had in 8 years. In 8 years on TV, that is as good as it has got. Jesus Christ. That's appalling. That's terrible. What are you doing? Jesus. And such a promising increase does indicate a growing appreciation for Russell T. Davis's second full season at the show's helm. Yeah, I'm going to listen to Cookie Kaiju on this one. Definitely. Definitely.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Oh wow, what a promising increase. You are one episode from the end. And you've managed to gain 12% over 6 episodes. What are you driveling about? That's madness. That's absolute madness. I mean, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? You've gone from 46% all the way up. The Titanic meteoric comeback kid Doctor Who has made it up to still not quite fresh. And you're celebrating that? You're going to throw a parade for that, are you? My God. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's maddening. Anyway, guys, fill up the bar. So, yeah, okay. Promising increase. That is pathetic. This is pathetic. There's no point even trying to fucking continue to cover this article because that's about as disingenuous as anyone could possibly be. You are literally saying that going from terrible to really bad right before the end is a promising increase that indicates a growing appreciation. No. Okay, first of all, obviously, as I've stated now 2 or 3 times in various different ways, that is an insignificant amount of growth. That is a nothing burger. That's nothing. That's like the difference between Dragon Age Veilguard on its night of release and its first weekend, where it gained like another 20,000 people and still never hit 100K on Steam. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. It's still a bad rating, and it'll probably go down again anyway because now we know about it. So we've got a lot of 5. Whoa, what the hell was that crap? We got a whole lot of 5-star reviews here. Wow, it's great. Is everything perfect? No. Well, then why have you given it a perfect score, Anthony T? Callbacks, blah, blah. Bot. Obvious bot. Yeah, fair enough. Unwatchable. This is just Doctor Who season 2025 season 2. There are vast of the powerful forces beyond this universe, beyond the multiverse, beyond the multiversal crisis. The universe and the reality is breaking down. Wow, is this the intelligence level of people who vote 5 out of 5 for Doctor Who series 2, 15 or 41? Because this is pathetic. Spanish. Okay. No. 4.5, 5. I genuinely feel Doctor Who is back. No, Doctor Who is back on the scrap heap after this next episode. What are these people on? It's pathetic. Absolutely ridiculous. It's completely stupid. But here's the thing, right? Apart from all that, you've also got to remember, quite obviously, that the pool of people watching has dramatically decreased in the last 5, 6, 7 years. So while you're going on about how, yeah, maybe 58% is the highest audience score since 2017. What else a victory, guys? We made it. The last two series are absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Look, you got here. You've got the numbers. I've been plugging them in lately. I've been trying to keep up. Obviously, the spreadsheet's not full yet, so the bottom two rows have some strange numbers in there that don't make sense. But for the most part, we can see that you've got the current highest was last week with 2.57. But of course, we've got the football. We've got FA Cup. And it still didn't get as high as it did last year with the FA Cup final then. Now, I don't know if that's the difference of the teams. I can't remember who was playing. I don't care. I'm not in the right country to follow it. Whatever. Okay. Then you've got the best consolidated rating is 3.75. Last year it was 4.06. So you've lost 25% and change, 30%. Well, 300,000. Okay. And what's the low point then? 1.50. 1.50 with no bonuses, no boost, and no nothing. And remember, Wish World is the finale part 1, which always does a little better than the average for the series. Not as well as the first episode, of course, which was already a legendary low. I've had to move this red box like 4 times. We had the lowest ever, then we had the lowest ever, then we had the lowest ever. Damn. And that was, of course, after last year's lowest ever, which was, of course, after the lowest ever before that. These are pathetic numbers. Absolutely atrocious. You have lost a third of your audience in 2 years. More than that, actually. You've lost a ton of your audience, like 40% of it. Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. And when you actually look at the increase of people that are going to watch it overnight to converted, right? So the difference between the overnight ratings and the actual conversions, last series, as we pointed out with the one particular dip in the middle, we had, 1.4, 1.5, 1.5, 1.4, 1.4, 1.48, 1.4, 1.5 this series, 1.4, 1.37, 1.30, 1.1, 1.18. Oh shit, it's getting lower and lower and lower until, of course, Interstellar Song Contest, which would be because a lot of Doctor Who fans might have not been at home, or they were out getting ready for Eurovision or something, and then they watched it later on. But if that's the numbers that you can actually drum up with iPlayer and your +7s as well now, compared to the start, whereas 1.5, you've lost a third of them as well. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Madness. The only people who would possibly still be watching this show and liking it are mentally retarded people, frankly. There you go. That's it. That's all there is. That's all it is. Sad, sad state of affairs. And there you go. Anyway, there we are. It looks pretty pathetic. And there has been a lot of coping and seething over this. Not least of which, we've suddenly had a video come out from someone I know a lot of you despise. And I'm going to have to watch a bit of it, unfortunately. Because, well, there's a story here that might have something to do with the ending of the series. Will there be a regeneration or a happy, dare I say, gay ending? It's Tharies, ladies and gentlemen. We got to watch Tharies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to...
Oh, my God. That guy. I don't watch enough of him. Wow. Dude. What is this guy? Is he like a distant member of the royal family or something with that horse mouth?
Another video where today I'm going to do a little bit of a brief one today because...
Oh, my God, that voice. I forget how irritating his voice is. Hello, everyone.
We've had an actual official leak, as in Disney Plus themselves have once again leaked a little preview of the next episode of Doctor.
Oh my God. Oh my god. I can't work out if he's like he sounds like the only retard to ever graduate from Eton. Hello, everyone, and I'm going to talk to you about my desperate hope to revitalize Doctor Who, because no one else can convince you that it's actually going to survive, probably because it's not. But look, I've invested thousands and thousands of pounds into all this junk on my shelves, and, well, you know.
For those of you who aren't aware, when you're on Disney Plus and they're showing like the
Is he like 17 years old or something?
Next episode, sometimes for the last few episodes of Doctor Who, they've been showing like
for the last few episodes of Doctor Who. Dude, what are you? What are you?
The episode ahead's preview image. For whatever reason, obviously this is significant because
they've always done that, dumbass. They've always done that. The only time they don't do that is when it's like the penultimate episode, then they don't want to show you how it's going to end. Has he got all these pictures of himself with Catherine Tate and who the hell is that? Wilfred, and that's David Tennant, and I don't know who the fuck that is. What the?
This is actually our first like look of Reality War.
Guys, this is, I give you the premiere Hootard. This is the guy. This is the remainder. This is what Doctor Who has left. Jesus Christ, I've got an annoying voice, but this guy, you know, I sound like I might be a distant member of the royal family, but at the same time also mildly retarded.
Outside of like promotional stills that they want us to see, and it's very
God, he's hard to watch.
Very interesting because it looks like an ending scene which could.
Why has he got his camera in that position? It really doesn't help him not look like a complete, you know, sporg.
I'm not saying it does, but it could mean that Gatwa doesn't regenerate. And we're going to talk about why, but we're going to look at this image.
Cope.
And I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. But before we do me a teeny tiny little favor and click that subscribe button.
How the fuck does this guy have 28,000 subscribers?
Much appreciated. We are trying to get to...
You're right. He's the English Buffalo Bill.
30,000 subscribers, and we're on 27,750 odd, so any support would be great.
Why just keep talking like this? Dude, what are you?
Greatly appreciated. We're getting closer and closer and closer.
Is he actually retarded? Am I picking on an actual retard right now? Because I feel really bad if I am. Like we're going to talk about how Shooter got not have, you know, fucking hell, buddy. Jesus.
If you enjoy regular Doctor Who content, feel free to subscribe, and let's dive right in. So as far
let's not, please, no.
As I could see, apparently this was first posted.
Dude. Oh man. There's definitely some inbreeding in his past, isn't there?
Around the 26th of May. So Disney Plus is known for showing a promo image for the next episode, but the episode after. I recently rewatched episode 6, and this image, probably from Reality War, has popped up. Hello. And then I first saw this, credit to...
Is this what they do? Is this what they do? Oh boy. I know some of these names. Oh, the Post Monument. I think he's blocked me.
Post Monument, who tweeted this out.
Sorry, Post Monument.
Today. So this was originally posted 2 days ago. And
Adam Juman for $2, a giant overbite. You know what? You just reminded me. That's what it is. He reminds me of that character from Family Guy. What's his name? Chat, what's his name? The character, you know, the guy who's got like a jawline that's just like a foot away from his face. And where he's hanging out with like Brian and the rest of the guys that work at the New Yorker. And he's got like a gigantic bottom jawline that's like his underbite is wildly, even though this guy's got a massive overbite, but he sounds like that. He's like, what is that character's name? I'm gonna have to Google it. Family Guy, underbite guy, James William Bottomtooth the Third. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of that. Yeah, Adam Juman, thank you for the $2, man. Appreciate you.
That's going to be relevant for what we're about to talk about because a quote has been given by industry leaker Daniel RPK saying, quote, the original
Man, this guy's life depends on Doctor Who, doesn't it?
ending of Doctor Who Season 2 before the reshoots was the Doctor, Ruby, Belinda, etc. all having a big party. Think Amy and Rory's wedding. Everyone's dancing, the Blinks is a DJ. Susan is seen watching them all from afar, which would have been the cliffhanger leading into Season 3. And here we can see...
Oh, wow. Sorry, I wasn't looking at Gatwa there. My eyes went straight to the most obvious location on the screen. Oh no, he looks like he's having a peek as well. Oh no, from his perspective he'd be looking at Gatwa's ass. Is he wearing a fucking skirt again? Is that mother... For God's sake. So what is all this about? So they're gonna actually let her show some boobage. Perish the thought we ever get to see Ruby in a nice dress.
Through Disney's like metadata, a better look at this image. And that does seem to depict what he's describing, which is interesting because he said that this was the scene that the series was going to end on pre the reshoot. Which
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't shoot a regeneration and they just left it.
Which, if he's correct, would indicate that perhaps there is not going to be a Ncuti Gatwa regeneration scene. Does that mean that he's staying? Not necessarily.
Are you, dude? He's left. He lives in Hollywood. He's courting Hollywood roles. We all know this.
But it kind of points towards a potentially more open-ended.
Kind of points toward a more. Do you know what this reminds me of? When I met Prince William, he talks like Prince William.
Ending for Season 2.
No, he talks like Harry.
And obviously it says, I think you can kind of see there, sort of says happy birthday in the background, and apparently the rumor is that it would be the Doctor.
No, the D is capitalized. You don't capitalize the D in birthday, do you?
Doctor's birthday at the end of the series, so that's what this is all about potentially, which, yeah.
Dude, you sound 14. You sound like your voice is breaking.
Very interesting stuff. I mean, the only thing I'll say about this is that Daniel Richmond, or Daniel RPK, has gotten a few things wrong, and it's notable with this tweet.
God, this guy is insufferable. So what? You got a fucking shot of Gatwa gaying it up in a club with Belinda Chandra. Cover your ears. This guy, hello, yes, I subscribe to the New Yorker, and we can see Ncuti Gatwa here dancing with Belinda Chandra, and her boobies are out, but I'm not going to comment on that. Jesus Christ.
In particular, that it went out today at 2:30 p.m. when the image itself was released via Disney 2 days prior. And the reason that's relevant, of course, is that he could have seen that image.
Of course. Seriously, he talks like a royal.
And is essentially using that as the basis to claim insider knowledge on the ending of Season 2. It's also worth noting...
Season 15. Or 41. Jesus Christ. Look at these comments. Damn, now I want this to be real. No, I want this to be real. Please tell me the guy has a mental disorder. Do you know that, or are you just speculating like I am?
That this is the same guy who said that a limited 8th Doctor series was planned, sets had been built, they were doing costume fittings, then it got cancelled after Season 1 didn't do well, and even like modelers at Bad Wolf Studios were laughing at how ridiculous this was, saying, yeah, it's true, we built them all at 1/100th scale by mistake, and the only way we could have done the series was like...
Jesus Christ. My God, man. My God, these are the people, aren't they? These are the people who still refuse to realize just how unbelievably terrible this series is now. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's genuinely he's genuinely coping and seeding. He spends all his time, obviously, just trawling Doctor Who feeds. That's it. For any kind of speculation. Then we've got this guy he's obviously following, Luke Smith, who has 9,900 views and a pride flag and pronouns in his bio, and only 141 likes and 4 comments. Wow. That is a pathetic ratio. Daniel Reichman, which is, by the way, how you're supposed to pronounce that, but you can say Rickman if you want. Twitter influencer and writer CNBC. God, who are these people?
Underworld with CSO. So yeah, even they were making fun of this and clowning on this. So I don't really know whether I trust Daniel RPK for
I don't really know why you made this video.
Those reasons. However, nonetheless,
this kid will never get laid. Yeah, that's pretty mean, but true. Lilith is over on Rumble now. It's some pretty nasty shit. Pug dance. Yeah, I see it. Hello, and on Rumble, by the way. Some of you guys are over there as well. That's cool.
Nonetheless, it is still our first look at a new scene in...
I mean, the only good reason to see this at all is that you get some actual fucking cleavage for once in Doctor Who.
Reality War, and potentially, you know, the series being left more open-ended. This doesn't seem like a scenario in which the Doctor and Belinda will leave on bad terms.
Oh, man. This kid is really bad. Is he in a wheelchair?
Or does it necessarily seem like he's leaving her life forever, unless it's the last night that they spend together?
Of course, he's the guy who was in Doctor Who last week, wasn't he? That's right. Yeah, I wonder if it's because of people like him that RTD suddenly started giving people in wheelchairs fucking superpowers. He's a horse-faced wanker. He sounds like the only retard to ever graduate from Eton.
Interesting. Like, this is potentially one of the last scenes of the episode, because I doubt they'd be partying when the Rani and Omega were still at large.
He's got that royalist way of talking. Episode.
But yeah, it's just interesting, because if there were to be a regeneration, I doubt that there would be a party involved in that. Like, hey, happy birthday, Doctor, now time to die. Like,
I don't know. That sounds exactly like what Gower would do if he was about to regenerate. He'd gay up as much as he possibly could before he gets felted.
Doesn't really align. So I can still potentially believe that season 2 will be left relatively open-ended with Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor, Belinda
oh my God, note to self, never watch this guy again.
As the current companion, and then depending on what happens, you know, we go from there. Because, like, Ncuti looks very happy in this scene as well. He doesn't look like he's about to go off and regenerate. Like, compare this to, obviously, you know, the 10th Doctor's farewell in End of Time, where he's kind of somberly doing a tour of all of his companions.
Nope, I'm done. That's enough. Fuck, that guy is unbearable. Unbearable. I don't care if he's disabled or developmentally disabled or what. He is a complete muppet. Has absolutely nothing of any value to say. That's embarrassing. How can you be that desperate for more Doctor Who when it is as bad as this? How can you be so devoid of any taste, any critical thought? Like, God damn, man. This is the only people they've got left. This is who Doctor Who has left watching their show. Muppets and sporgs. Unreal. Oh well. There we go. That's enough Doctor Who. I can't take it anymore. We've still got a couple of days before the next episode finally comes out, and we can take this show out to the back of the barn with a double-barrel shotgun and, you know. Although double barreled, maybe not. Anyway, we've got other things we can talk about. Plenty of other things, because there is a whole bunch of stupid, cringy crap happening. But before that, let's talk about kind of the main event, because we have finally got the casting of the kids for Harry Potter. And well, cover your ears again. Damn. All right. So here we go. Dead. Oh dear. Sorry. I'll try to mitigate some of that peaking if I can, but I don't know if I can do anything about it. It's already way down on actual decibel volume. But anyway, HBO's Harry Potter series casts new trio for iconic roles of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Now, this has caused some controversy. Obviously, not least of which because the little girl seems to have a mildly darker face than everybody else there. Yeah. Does anyone really give a shit about this without playing the clip again? Genuinely, like, mute having an orgasm. At the end of that clip, it sounds like a fucking monkey or something. It's incredible how you can make that noise with your voice. I don't think I can. Anyway, we've done a poll on it. So far, we've got 32 votes, but there are 37 people watching. So, I don't know if some of them are on Rumble, actually. So, yeah, maybe you're not. But if you're on YouTube, you voted in the poll, is the Hermione girl cast actually black? And at the moment, the winning answer is that she's Hypnotic's secret daughter, which is obviously some deep lore from yesterday. We've got most common sense people saying she's off-white or she's Hispanic or Greek, and who gives a fuck? And 12% of you have said she's straight Nubian, and she... Oh dear. Mick Hucknall's aged well. Yeah. So, first things first then. This kid is scary as fuck. He's got a real, like, creepy, piercing smile in this picture that kind of stares right through the picture into your soul. You know? It's kind of off-putting. Also, I don't know what it is about this arm of his. It looks like it's prosthetic in this picture. But hey, there you go. Why are they, by the way, why did they just film them sitting in some long grass? Like, what does that have to do with it? I mean, is that supposed to be them in the forests or something? Because whatever. Anyway, then you've got the Ron kid. I mean, he looks normal enough. More normal than the original Ron, actually, Rupert Grint. But, you know, fair enough. I mean, he fits the description. I guess so does the Harry Potter kid, although they still can't find anyone with hair anywhere near as messy as Harry Potter's is supposed to be. But then, you know, we come to Hermione then. And this girl is supposed to be Hermione. Well, they got her having big old teeth, right? Which is good. She's not white, but her face is not that far off. I mean, yeah, she looks Spanish or something. That's what she looks. She looks slightly more Mediterranean than the other two. This is not the black casting that everyone was freaking out about. Well, I did have fun making them all black with AI for the thumbnail. But yeah, here we are. And we're at this point now where it's like, okay, they've cast the kids. I don't see what everyone's freaking out about. There seems to have been a lot of backlash to her having a slightly darker shade of skin than the other two. I mean, the Harry Potter kid is super white. They were never going to change Harry Potter, no matter how many memes we made about it. They were never going to actually have, you know, you're an N-word, Harry. You know, you're never going to have that. And it is a little surprising that they allowed Ron to continue to be ginger. But then, again, as some people have pointed out quite correctly, Ron is from an incredibly poor family. A poor family who've got... How many kids do they have? 6. I think Percy, the twins, then Ron. Is that it? That's 4. Then so 5 kids, which in the UK is a lot. And they're all ginger. Fair enough. And all right, I mean that's the Weasley family. So this kid will work, he'll work fine. He looks like the happiest one of the bunch, actually. He looks like the only normal kid there, actually. You've got sort of, well, the girl looks pretty normal too, to be fair. It's just a Harry. Harry's creepy. That kid is creepy. Well, I guess, whatever. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. After Black Snape, all bets were off. So there's that. Some people are saying, yes, she is Hypno's daughter. She's Hypno's secret daughter. Well, sorry, buddy. I'm too busy raising my own Hispasians to be able to take on another one. So there you go. And so there it is. So the Wizarding World has found its new stars. HBO has finally, officially announced the 3 young actors who will step into the roles of the core trio, Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, for its upcoming Harry Potter television series. Yeah. Okay. Good for them. Dominic McLaughlin has been cast as Harry Potter. That's his name? No. Joined by Arabella Stanton. Arabella. Well, that's only the second time I've ever heard that name, and the other one was Spanish too. Well, actually, no, there's the woman from the Fast Show. Anyway, so she's going to be Hermione Granger and Alistair Stout. What is up with, having kids playing Ron who have, retro names like Rupert and Alistair? Don't meet a lot of Alistairs these days. Anyway, the casting marks a major milestone for the series, which held an open call auditioning over 30,000. 30,000 hopefuls from around the world. Man, that's a lot of desperate parents. That's a lot of people who are desperately trying to get their kids to be famous to save them from the oncoming storm of globalism. There are 7 Weasleys. That's right, yeah. It's been a very, very long time since I had a look at any of the books, and actually, I think they're in here now. Yeah. Right down here. Bought them for the missus. Somehow they've ended up in my studio. They're the newer edition. Funny that I found them in the Philippines, though. I actually like them better than the originals. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a look through the books. I should probably thumb through them again. But I watched the movies, I don't know, last time was last year, I think. Or my niece watched them. So yeah, but there's not all the detail in there, and I can't really remember. Anyway, they're good. I enjoyed them. And that actually makes me worry a little bit, because I don't think anyone's really brought this up, because you do not have quite the epic lineup of incredibly world-renowned British actors to bring into the roles of the teachers to be able to, you had Maggie Smith, you got Robbie Coltrane, got all these amazing people playing such key roles. You got Michael Gambon, obviously, and Richard Harris before him playing Dumbledore. There's just some really top tier British talent. Imelda Staunton. So many people coming in and going throughout these movies who are just from that generation where we had just this world-class British bloody actors. And now we haven't really got that anymore. We've got some good actors. They're all dead. Yeah, I know. They're all dead, aren't they? Obviously, Rickman, too. Rickman's dead. Coltrane's dead. Is Maggie Smith dead? Yes, she died, didn't she, last year or something, I think? Maggie Smith. She died last year, September. Jesus, man. Wow. That's bleak, isn't it? Is anyone alive who played any of the faculty? Well, I guess Warwick Davis is still alive. Well, there you go. Anyway, Dominic McLaughlin has been cast as Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley from 30,000 people. And You know, that actually gives me some hope because while I'm sure they were trying to make sure that they weren't all white, they would have had if they went through that many auditions, God, that must have taken months. I really don't know if I don't know how I quite feel about this. Like, I'm not really optimistic about it. I don't really care, to be honest, but I also kind of feel like I might watch that and review it because I'm actually interested. I was gonna watch and review The Last of Us, but I tapped out after the 3rd episode, and I'm glad I did. But anyway, in a joint statement, showrunner Francesca Gardner, the showrunner's a woman, executive producer Mark Mylod, okay, praised the new trio. After an extraordinary search led by casting directors Lucy Bevan and Emily Brockman, more women. I'm not saying it shouldn't be women, by the way. I'm just pointing out that there's a an obvious effort to get more and more and more and more women into positions of power here. What's that? Adam Juman says, don't know about Harry Potter and don't care about Harry Potter. Well, I'll keep it short for you then, buddy. But thank you. It is good though. The movies are fun. After extraordinary search, blah blah blah, we found our Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The talent of these 3 unique actors is wonderful to behold, and we cannot wait for the world to witness their magic together on screen. All right, yeah, fine, I guess. So who else is in the cast then? We've got obviously Stanton starred as Matilda in the West End's Matilda the Musical. All right, you've got John Lithgow is playing Dumbledore. What is that about? A strange one. He can do it. He's a good actor. I mean, it would be hilarious to see Dick Solomon playing Dumbledore, but don't think he'll be doing that. Great actor though. Can certainly pull off a British accent, so fair enough, I suppose. Janet McTeer as Minerva McGonagall. Janet McTeer? Who the hell is she? She's this woman in her 60s. Fair enough, I suppose. Yeah, all right. Decent rack for an older broad. Anyway. Papa Esidu as Severus Snape. So this is obviously the one, the really, really bizarre one. Like, you've got Black Snape. It's this. I don't know why. I don't know what has possessed them to cast this guy as Snape. What are they going for here? To have the bad guy be black for 6 or 7 seasons and then in the final have him outed as the caring and actually considerate Severus Snape that everyone didn't think he was? It's just a weird one. What are they trying to do? I don't get it. It's bizarre, strange, fucking weird. And it's going to be weird too because it's going to mean that Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron are going to spend their entire time at Hogwarts mistrusting a black man. And what are we trying to say with that? Is that going to be something they're going to include in the plot? Is J.K. Rowling on board with this? I suppose she is. She is, after all, a liberal. Apart from, the trans issue, of course. Then you've got Nick Frost as Ruby's Hagrid, so that's good, I guess. Nick Frost I can see playing Hagrid. Nick Frost is a solid actor, and he's due for a little comeback, I guess. Luke Thallon as Quirrell. Who the fuck is Luke Thallon? They're casting a lot of people who look a lot like the cast from the original movies, which of course is to do with the descriptions in the books. Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch. All right, that could be pretty good. That could be pretty good. Very funny. All right. The series is written and executive produced by Francesca Gardner, his Dark Materials Succession, and produced in association with Bronte Film and TV and Warner Brothers Television. It's Warner? Oh, yeah, of course, it's HBO's Warner, isn't it? Succession, Game of Thrones, blah, 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 is directing multiple episodes. Oh, God, please don't try to turn this into Game of Thrones. It's just not going to work, is it? I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have the cast. And yeah, the kids doesn't really matter because the kids were complete unknowns when they were cast and they took over the world by the end of the first movie. You don't have John Williams' soundtrack unless you do. I mean, Warner Brothers does own it, presumably, so maybe they will use the soundtrack, the original theme, you know. I don't know. Will they? Would they? Or would they try to make another theme tune? Because anything else musically is going to sound like, you know, it's trying to be this whole thing is going to sound and look and feel like it's trying to do the movies, even if they don't, even if they go in a completely opposite direction. Now, obviously, the benefit of having a TV show is that you don't have to cut out anything from the books. But then we heard a while back that they're not really leaning on the books for reference material and they're going to deviate from it. So what's the fucking point then? This is either going to be a smash hit or an absolute catastrophe, or one then the other. That's my three eventualities. I do not see this being a continual hit for many, many seasons, unless it is just somehow the best thing that's come out in a decade with absolutely no like wokeness in it whatsoever, which is, it's too late for that because you've got Black Snape. Just in Time is here for $5, says, in my honest opinion, Harry Potter is more interesting than the new Doctor Who. That said, I'm liking the 2000 series you recommended, Will. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Yeah. The earlier modern Who stuff was pretty fun. But, yeah, to be fair, Harry Potter is far more relevant than Doctor Who, but it's nowhere near as relevant as it once was. So, you know, this needs to be the real big banger revitalizer. Otherwise, it's going to do more damage than good to the brand. You know, there's a part of me that wants to go full John conspiracy theory here and say that this is an attempt by the people making it to ruin Harry Potter just to felt J.K. Rowling's income. But joke's on you. She's already richer than God. So I don't know. It's a strange one. It's a strange one. I don't know what to make of it. I'd like to see a trailer, I guess. Then I'll be able to make some preliminary judgments. But continue enjoying the recommendations there, Justin. And when we run out of Doctor Who, we are going to review Red Dwarf because I want to have some fun. Red Dwarf is fantastic. Thank you for the $5, buddy. Appreciate you. Woo. Silver Bullet Lycan, one does wonder for $5, by the way. If this show will get the Hogwarts Legacy treatment, do we mean the boycotting and the backlash and the bullshit from the left? Because if that does happen, then the show might be toast. If they make a woke show and the left boycott it anyway, it's done. It's fucked. It's felted. It's toast after 2 seasons. And if it's not woke and it's based and it's actually decent and they haven't wrecked it and the left boycott it, then that will galvanize more people to watch it, and that could actually push it into being a hit, much like Hogwarts Legacy. So tough to call. Tough indeed to call early on, but it could be all right. It's too early to tell. I kind of hope it will be all right because I feel like kids these days deserve. Oh man, I sound old when I say that. Fucking hell, I'm not 40 yet. Not yet, God. Anyway, yeah, like in 2 weeks. God, I almost forgot that. I have a lot of worries, yes, but at the same time, I'm also aware that that we need a win for kids. They need something good, something wholesome in their life, something they can watch the movies, but the movies are old and they'll sort of eventually they'll lose interest in them. Kids will, although they are kind of timeless and permanently set in the 90s. But the crap that's on TV now, I watch some of the stuff my niece is watching on my Netflix, and it's fucking garbage. Garbage. Vacuous crap. You know, and I'm thinking, oh, come on, please let me show you some cool stuff. But, you know, you got to let kids make their minds up. Although she has discovered One Piece, which is great. Fantastic. Especially because I got a bunch of the manga books here. Sorry. To share. But, you know, it would be nice if they could do a reasonable job of preserving some good literature and some good storytelling that Harry Potter represents. So, yeah, I want it to be good, but I don't know if it will. The controversy and the commentary. Rowling's inclusion has sparked media scrutiny due to her outspoken political positions. Yeah, but she's a raging, screeching leftist feminist. Until someone wants to put men in women's prisons or in women's bathrooms, which is absolutely reasonable. Sorry, we don't subscribe around here to the theory that you are the gender you say you are. No. We already have a show on HBO from her called CB Strike that we do with the BBC. It's pretty clear that those are her personal political views. She's entitled to them. Yes, she is. Isn't it funny how people are entitled to their views and that we shouldn't have to scrutinize everybody based on how they vote or what they believe? But then we also shouldn't be pushing legislation that fails to protect the more vulnerable in society. So there's that. And by the way, a 6-foot tranoid is not more vulnerable than a 5'2" woman in any reality. Okay? Unless they're a danger to themselves, 41% and all that. But Harry Potter is not secretly being infused with anything. And if you want to debate her, you can go on Twitter. Well, I actually like that take. I actually do. Good. All right. Fair enough. One casting decision already sparked intense online debate. Papa Assidu's selection of Severus Snape, while Assidu is an acclaimed British actor known for roles in I May Destroy You and Gangs of London. His cast... Wait, Gangs of London? Isn't that set like 100 years ago? Hang on a minute. Oh my God. Gangs of London. Oh no, that was a movie. Based on London Studios' video game of the same name. It's a spin-off of the Getaway franchise. Really? That's weird. That's a very weird thing to find out. Oh, well. Okay, I guess. It doesn't look that old school, so whatever. The casting drew backlash from fans who argue the character should resemble the description from the original books and Alan Rickman's portrayal in the films. They're correct. He should look like the description in the books. It's really not very difficult. I mean, actually, no, that's not true at all. It is very difficult to find a person who looks like Severus Snape as he is described in the books, because he is described with almost inhuman features on his face. Like he's markedly much uglier than Alan Rickman. Not that I'm saying Alan Rickman was ugly, but he had a fairly unconventional face, I suppose. But I genuinely don't know how you are supposed to find, you know, a guy with like a long hooked nose and lank black hair who's pale as fuck without, you know, making it yourself. And it just doesn't, it's the absolute opposite. It's weird. Anyway, critics of the decision claim HBO prioritized modern identity-driven optics over accuracy to the source material, further fueling concerns that the series may be influenced by current cultural trends. I mean, yeah, there's only one reason you would do that. There's only... Whoa, nice comments I'm seeing. Some nice comments. And they're coming from YouTube, not Rumble. Wow. All right. I'm not reading them. Unless I were to pronounce the I as an I sound as opposed to an I sound. But, you know. Anyway, further fueling concerns, blah, 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 blah. There's no reason not to do this. I mean, if you're going to cast a black Severus Snape, you are doing it for a political reason. Sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I have been watching this shit for 10 years. More than 10 years. I've been watching this happen for a decade and change. And it's become more and more and more egregious more and more and more ridiculous, and more on the nose, ham-fisted. Oh, he's black now, so that means you can't say anything about him. That's why they can't, by the way, they can't cast a black Hermione, because at some point she's going to get called a mudblood by an Aryan-looking motherfucker. And you can't have Ron be black, because then he'd be a poor black character. And you can't have Harry be black, because no, that's too far. That's a step way too far. No one would watch. HBO has not commented on that particular backlash, but many online discussions remain divided, especially among longtime fans who view Snape as one of the franchise's most complex and iconic characters. The controversy echoes similar debates around legacy character reboots in recent years, placing even more scrutiny on HBO's approach to honoring the world Rowling originally created. Casting of the new Harry Potter trio was surrounded by speculation as to whether they would adhere to the original descriptions of the characters from the novels. The character of Hermione, in particular, was race-swapped in the Broadway show Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. That's right. What did she look like again? Harry Potter and Cursed Child Hermione. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. That's a very black woman. Hang on, have a look here. Apparently this was Hermione. I guess they're grown up in the Cursed Child. That's Hermione. That's madness. It's madness. You can't do stuff like that. Well, anyway, looks like you're in big trouble anyway. And I don't know who cares, but I don't really give a shit. What I do give a shit about is another element of this, that apparently the series is alleged to cost between $2 and $8 billion. $2 and $8 billion.
What? What the fuck?
Budget discrepancies explode as audience challenges mount from all sides. Okay. The upcoming Harry Potter television series from HBO could be one of the most expensive shows in television history, with reports by the Daily Mail of an astronomical budget. Oh dear. Not a good look. That's madness. All right. According to the Daily Mail, each episode of the series is expected to cost a staggering $75 million. John saying he only doesn't care enough about Harry Potter to speculate over on Rumble. Well, we'll have to speculate a little bit at some point, buddy. But which is more than 100 million in the US in USD. So $100 million an episode. Do you realize, my friends, that $100 million is the amount of money that Disney gave to the BBC to produce 26 episodes of Doctor Who? Now, you've got a cast of relative unknowns and a couple of big names in there, but certainly not big enough names to command millions and millions per season. So what the fuck could you possibly... I mean, because Doctor Who, the only real thing you can say about it right now is under Disney. It looks pretty good. But, you know, it looks high-end. It looks like Marvel. Although Marvel now doesn't look as good as Doctor Who. But you get what I'm saying. $100 million an episode. That's insanity. That is insanity. What was the budget? What was the budget of the original Harry Potter movie? Harry Potter movies budgets. Come on. Give me something. Harry Potter and the... Wait, what? How much did all 8 Harry Potter movies cost? 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. So this could be as much as 8 times that. Sorry, wrong link. That is astonishing. With an estimated 8 episodes per season planned over 7 seasons, that puts the total production budget at approximately £4.2 billion or 5.4 billion USD. Whoa. Whoa. It's just money. Well, if they claim your soul, that money will be well spent. Certainly true there. However, previous Daily Mail reporting alleged a full 10 seasons of the show, which at latest reported budget would put costs around $8 billion. Holy shit. Holy shit. $600 million per season. That is astonishing. That is madness. Did they really spend that kind of money on Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 2000? According to this, the budget for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was $100 million. In 2001, people were making the budgets for movies of like 20 million back then. Really? That $125 million for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Sorry, Philosopher's Stone. Wow. Even that seems like a lot for 20 years ago. Oh, well. That is astonishing. That is crazy. That would be more than the Rings of Power. Yeah. $1 billion for 2 seasons. You'll never get that back. What are they going to do? How could you possibly think that you'll get that back? Maddening. According to a February 2024 report from the Daily Mail, Warner Brothers Discovery initially planned for 10 consecutive seasons. You're commissioning 10 seasons? Don't do that. Commission 2. At that estimate, the full production would cost around $2 billion USD. This is going to put Warner Brothers in the ground. Jesus. Putting it on par with HBO's other high-budget offerings like House of the Dragon. Man, that is crazy. That is crazy. However, a new report from the Daily Mail in May 2025 presents a drastically different figure. Latest estimates claims the series will cost £75 million pounds per episode, $101 million at current exchange rates. So every single episode of this will have the budget of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I'm pretty sure is only had less budget than Philosopher's Stone because it was, using a lot of the same sets. If the show follows an 8-episode season model, that would mean over $800 million per season and $8 billion over 10 seasons. Oh, wow. Wow. That is insane. Madness. Some people have more money than sense, it seems. Oh, well, there you go. It is what it is. It's a bit fucking crazy, though, don't you think? Let's take a quick water break here. We've at least got to talk about that, John. That is madness. Anyway, here we go. Let's move on to something else then. Let's talk about some other stuff. Because, every time you try to turn a TV show into a modern audience-pleasing piece of crap like that, it gets felted. As we've seen with The Last of Us 2. And now no one can argue that this show is a disaster. Because, of course, it's a disaster. It's woke beyond belief. And it actually did exactly what the bulk of us were predicting it would. It was going to be a disaster. When you go in and you are copying The Last of Us Part 2 and you change nothing, and the stuff that you do change is actually even woker than the other stuff that was already woke, you are asking for trouble. Last of Us Season 2 finale suffers 55% drop in viewership. Well, yeah. You know why? Because it's the same problem that they had when they had the problem that they had with The Last of Us Part 2. Most people, regardless of what some absolute muppets on YouTube might say, The Last of Us is popular because of Joel. Mostly Joel. It's because, yes, Ellie is a massive part of that. Colossal part. But without Joel, Ellie becomes far less meaningful. You need the framing device of Joel's perspective of Ellie in order for The Last of Us to work. Bruce Straley knew this when he wrote it. Neil Druckmann did not know this when he took over. It was just, oh, I watched Game of Thrones. I want to see. It's funny, really, isn't it? I reckon that he saw Pedro Pascal get his head popped by the mountain in Game of Thrones and thought, whoa, they killed off a major character just like that for the millionth time in this series of Game of Thrones. And wow, people are really loving it. I reckon if I kill off Joel to build Ellie, that'll get people really talking. Yeah, it did. It really did. Congratulations, you dick. Neil Cuckman, though, anyway, it's been revealed that The Last of Us Season 2 finale aired to a massively reduced audience compared to the end of the first series, which first streamed in 2023. It was confirmed that a drop of 55% was recorded in viewership for episode 7 of the second season, representing a gap of more than 4.5 million viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a disaster. Sorry, that is a catastrophe. That's Rings of Power style disastrous drops in viewership. And if you are not aware, the Rings of Power is a colossal catastrophe as well. A massive money pit and a joke of a TV show that everyone just memes on these days. In fact, they didn't even bother with the second series. So apparently the fact that they are going to continue with this, and so we'll have more Last of Us TV than we'll have Last of Us games, is kind of astonishing, really. It has been suggested that the holiday weekend could have contributed to the lower viewership and the numbers might pick up as the week goes on, but it could also be that the second season just did not hit well with viewers. Well, no, because the people watching the show probably didn't play the game, but they probably heard that Joel was going to die, and then they watched to see if it happened, and it happened exactly the same way that it did in the game. And it was unceremonious and insulting and ridiculous. And the other problem is Bella Ramsey is you know, apart from being a bit of a potato face, and that's the meme, and it's kind of mean-spirited, I guess. The problem is she doesn't look anything like Ellie. She doesn't sound anything like Ellie. She can't pull off the subtleties that Ashley Johnson was able to in Ellie's performance in the games, where Ellie is equal parts surly and really likable. She has a sense of humor. She's a fleshed-out, well-rounded character. There is none of that in Bella Ramsey's performance. And Pedro Pascal, while I'm sick and tired of the name, of the face, the man, everything about him. I'm tired of him. Can we please just put him away for a decade or so now? You know, he is at least a good actor. Certainly someone who, though I don't like him as Joel particularly, I think there are other people you could have cast a complete unknown as Joel and done better. He did a good job as Joel and managed to capture the energy. Because he's a very good actor, you know. He's just sick of him, but he's a good actor, you know. And now that he's gone, like the game, there is just a sucking vacuum where there was this character who was your perspective in the universe. And regardless of what Neil Cuckman might think, people love Joel. People love Joel. People are fascinated by Joel. People sympathized with him at the start. They were horrified by some of the stuff he has to do in the game. And then at the end, when he makes that decision, and you as a player have no agency in it, you just have to go along with it, what he has decided, you kind of judge him a bit. I still maintain, as I did right then, and I said this, and I swear to you guys, this is me being a little bit, I said it years ago, and I knew then, and it was not going to work, blah, 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 but it's 100% fucking true. The minute that the game ended, no, that's technically a lie. When the first game ended, my dad and I sat in almost total silence for 10 minutes. The only thing we said to each other was, should we go to the pub? And we decided to go to the pub. And on our way, we finally managed to start talking about it in the car because we were pretty stunned by the ending of The Last of Us. But the first thing I said is, that needs to be the end. Don't make a sequel. Leave it at that. Let people wonder forever. Just like the ends of shows like The Office, things like that, where they never quite told you exactly what the final fates of all the characters were. It left you wondering. They did it with Spaced as well. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and Edgar Wright and Jessica Hines show that they did before Shaun of the Dead. Once again, it leaves you optimistic that maybe something will happen between the main characters. And then if you watch the DVD extras, you get a bit of an answer to that. And it's a happy ending. But you should never have touched The Last of Us for even a fucking second after the end of the game. It was a masterpiece. It was a glorious piece of gameplay. It wasn't the most technical gameplay ever. It was fairly simple. It was fun, engaging, atmospheric, sucked you in and made you emotional for the characters. And then it left you wondering what would be the fate of the world. More could only ever be more. And when we got it, what did they do? Just completely disrespected the character that you had struggled to get through that story by offing him unceremoniously in the first fucking hour of the game. Complete bonehead maneuver, especially after they advertised that Joel was going to be in it, aged him up for the trailer and stuff, so it looked like he'd be in more of the game. And of course, that all got leaked. Channels got struck, and fuck Naughty Dog became a hashtag. Neil Cuckman became a thing. And now they've done the exact same sequence of mistakes with this show. Now, as for me, I'm of the opinion that Joel did what Joel would do, because Joel would never, ever again suffer a little girl that he loves to die, possibly for nothing. And when you actually think about the logistics of it, how much would her immunity to the cordyceps virus actually be able to save the world? The world is already way past done. It would take them years to root out all of the spores and how many people are there, and how many people, like, who are you realistically saving if you are able to kill Ellie, extract some kind of and synthesize some kind of vaccine? It would still take decades and decades and decades to repair the world. And there's going to be you're vastly outnumbered, first of all, by people who've long since abandoned their humanity and people who have had their humanity taken from them and become clickers and shit. There's really no going back in that world. So I'm of the opinion that Joel did the right thing. You know, he just he saved her life because he couldn't bear to let her die. And that's completely understandable, and one of the reasons that Joel is such a fascinating character. And they killed him off before we ever really got a satisfying conclusion. But we should never have ever had to watch a scene where they discuss what really happened. We should never have had that. We should never have had any more, not a second more. Not even the DLC. Fuck the DLC as well. It was boring. And all it did was establish that Ellie was a lesbian, which is fucking stupid. Anyway, so Last of Us Season 2 is over, and now we need to wait around 2 years for the next season to arrive. No, we don't. We don't need to wait. There's plenty of other better things we can be doing with our time. Based on the precedent set by the first 2 seasons, I estimate it will drop in 2027, and it's almost inevitably going to reveal Abby's story in Seattle and beyond. Well, then I'm certainly not interested. I'm not interested in the second series. The relationship between Ellie and Dina, which is fucking appalling. Fucking appalling. I'm going to be a dad. Jesus Christ. Maddening. Maddening. I keep saying that today. I'm having a lot of maddening things in this show. But there you go. The show it can't, the story can't stand, apparently, in either medium without Joel. So there you go. Now, there's another element of this. Rotten Tomatoes touts the critic score for The Last of Us Series 2 while ignoring the audience rating of 39%. Well, what a shocking surprise that is. Should I alert the media? Suddenly, for the first time ever, they're talking about what the critics think as opposed to what the audience thinks. And for the record, this has a lower audience score than Doctor Who. 39%. Of course, it has 94% from critics. Of course it fucking does. Of course it does. Why? I don't know. No one gives a shit about Cuckman. But there you go. Rotten Tomatoes is touting it. Oh, Last of Us Season 2 is certified fresh. Ooh. Yeah, but no one cares what critics think because they're all shills. No one cares. You know what I'm going to do now. Sorry. I enjoy that. And I didn't want to just copy, you know. The wide gap between critic and audience reception reflects a growing trend in over-entertainment coverage, where high-profile series receive glowing critical endorsements from legacy access media, while viewer dissatisfaction and independent new media reviews are dismissed or ignored. In this case, the disconnect appears especially stark. Is anyone really bloody shocked by any of this? Really? No. Of course not. Absolutely not. Totally stupid. They really fucked that franchise in one move. And Neil Cuckman deserves everything he gets. Now, we've got a few other little game stories here that we can go over. Let's pay tribute to our friend and colleague Hypnotic, who sadly died of nerdgasm yesterday on live stream, was resurrected to nerdgasm once again. I think he's still alive. I think so. So I don't believe this. I don't believe this at all. But it keeps coming back like a floater. This rumor that Half-Life 3 has been designed to be the final chapter. Apparently, according to the story, I haven't talked about it on the show. I haven't talked about it at all. I wanted to talk about it last week, but I had no internet. This rumor keeps coming up. Now, I'm going to point out before we get into any of this that the last time Insider Gaming kept pushing with this fucking story that would not go away and would not stop floating back up over and over and over and over again, it was Oblivion Remastered. And I rolled my eyes at that, frankly. For 2 weeks or something, Insider Gaming posted articles updating. So, is it going to be today that Oblivion Remastered gets announced? Is it going to be today? Apparently, it's going to get shadow dropped. Is it going to get shadow dropped? And then, despite the fact that I didn't believe them, they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And finally, yeah, like a month ago and whatever, we got a stream from Bethesda with an announcement and a trailer for Oblivion Remastered and a shadow drop immediately afterwards. And it was glorious. And if my save files hadn't been fucking deleted, I'd still be playing it. But that's what happens when your computer decides to shit the bed. And for some reason, Steam didn't back it up to the cloud. Fortunately, they did with Expedition 33, which I have to play later on today because I couldn't earlier on yesterday. So we'll get back on that today as well. Hopefully soon. And according to the new claim, Half-Life 3 is being developed as the last entry for the franchise. So this is a story they keep coming back with over and over and over again, which makes me think that maybe there's a nugget of truth to it. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it on the principle that it has been over 20 years. When was Half-Life 2? I can't even remember what year it was released. 2004. 21 years ago. That's a long time to not release a sequel. But it could happen, I suppose. I mean, it would be amazing. And Hypnotic was right. It would be the breakage of the internet on a level no one has ever seen. Remember, there was no YouTube when Half-Life 2 came out. There was no YouTube. I mean, Facebook was still basic as fuck. Hell, I was, 19? It's crazy. Crazy. But, yeah, I mean, look, if it actually happens, it should happen exactly as Hypno said. He's right. Completely right. They should do exactly what? Yes, MySpace was the thing back then. God, that was a long time ago now. Fuck. I'm so old. They should do exactly what he said. They should do what Bethesda did. They should, if they were going to announce this, they should do it not in a way that's like, we're going to release this and you can wait like 6 months and it'll be out. No, don't do that. Yeah, it'll work. It'll be hype mania for 6 months and then it'll come out and it might disappoint some people. That's a lot of time for people to say a lot of negative shit. If you want the ultimate internet breaking, media meltdowns, YouTubers crashing out left, right, and center, the moment of all moments, the biggest release in gaming history, bigger than GTA 6, bigger than anything else, bigger than Elder Scrolls 6, bigger than GTA 5, bigger than fucking anything. You release Half-Life 3 and you release it the same day you announce it. He's right. He's completely right. And I can feel myself getting hyped as well now because those games were fucking phenomenal. I don't think I'm quite as massive a fan as he is, but Jesus Christ, it would be the most incredible couple of days on the internet you've ever seen. There'd be no one talking about anything else ever. It might actually cause a temporary fucking armistice in the culture war while everyone just goes, oh, Half-Life 3. It's the boogeyman. It's the grail. It's the great untold, impossible, never gonna happen, not in a million years will we ever get a Half-Life 3. It's never happened. It's never coming out. No one believes it. I don't believe it. And then if they suddenly just went, guys, Half-Life 3, boom, fuck, the internet would go insane. The internet would go crazy. I want it just to see that. I want to see the internet go like, you talk about breaking the fucking internet? Nah, bruh. That would be like the season finale of the internet. Like you're talking websites crashing left, right, and center. You're talking about like Twitter having to buy extra servers to keep up with all the traffic. The people would be talking non-stop. And Steam, I don't know how Steam would handle it. You'd be looking at a couple of million. Pal World would be a drop in a bucket, drop in the ocean compared to Half-Life 3. I guarantee you. Maybe more than 2 million, maybe 3 million, maybe 4 million within the first couple of days. It would destroy everything, all records. Guarantee it. It's amazing they've never done it. But the fact that they haven't ever done it is the reason why I still struggle to believe that they ever will. But again, here we go again with these fucking rumors that this bloody website keeps pushing. They keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. This is like the third time I've seen them talk about Half-Life 3. It's been on the sort of periphery of my radar for a little while now. It's just that it's so similar to what happened 6 weeks or so ago with Oblivion Remastered. Rage and D-Head is here for $5. Hello, thank you. Says, took a trip to the Mercante cult stream today. The delusions of grandeur are bigger than you realize. Oh, you went and watched her? Oh, dude. Last time I went there, I made the mistake of typing hehehe in the chat, and she freaked out and banned me. She was like, oh my God, it's that guy who went to the Philippines for dubious reasons. It's like, bitch, you don't know shit about me. I went to the Philippines because I was bored and miserable with my life. I'm fucking glad I did. I have no idea. But she crashed out and freaked out a little bit and got me banned immediately. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I didn't even do anything. I just mistakenly, just sort of on autopilot, laughed at something she did. It wasn't even in bad faith. Like, she genuinely made me chuckle, and I just wrote, hey. She's like, oh my God, it's that guy. She refused to say my name as well. It's really funny. Well, whatever. She's irrelevant now anyway. She's a pawn in a much bigger plan. She really does think the sun shines out of her fucking arse, though, which is hilarious. Just hilarious. It's too bad that you can't watch them back. But there you go. Anyway, nice to know you've been having some fun, Raging D-Head, and thank you very much for the $5. Yeah, Half-Life 3. If it happens, when it happens, it will be the crashing of all of the internet. A report from late last year stated that HLX, or Half-Life 3, has already reached the playtest phase. We also heard as early as this month that the game is reportedly playable end to end. Okay. Interesting. Well, see, the thing about that is it's weird and oddly specific. Don't think it would be more massive than GTA. I don't know. I mean, it would be different. It would be a different kind of thing if they shadow dropped it as well, especially. I guess, yeah, maybe GTA's taken over now, but I think it would be bigger than GTA because it would be vindication for people who've been sitting for 20 years and waiting for a sequel to Half-Life 2. And that sort of thing just doesn't happen. It's an internet legend, at this point. Just in time for $5 says, with respect, bigger than Elder Scrolls 6 probably, but not GTA 6. There's a whole generation of GTA fans who've never played or maybe never heard of Half-Life. Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, you guys disagree. That's fine. I just feel like a lot of people would come out of the woodwork for a Half-Life 3. Like a fucking load of people that we haven't seen maybe for years. Anyway, I'd like to find out, so maybe we will. But in the meantime, you guys are filling up the bar, and I'm enjoying watching that. So thank you very much for the $5. Raging D-Head one more time for $5 more says, she let me make 3 very rational comments and then she banned me. She was triggered for the rest of her stream, took her completely out of focus. What did you say? Oh, I got to know. It's too much fun. Good job. Now, I don't condone, by the way, harassing people, but commenting on their public-facing live streams is not harassment. Even I have to put up with that kind of crap sometimes. So there we go. But yeah, do tell me what you said as we continue on. So this report came in late last year. The Half-Life 3 is already reached playtest. It's playable end-to-end. The source revealed that the game is the furthest it's ever been, and the developers are in the process of optimizing and polishing the game. Moreover, it was claimed that it is already content locked, or at least mechanic locked. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, that's a general sort of statement that you see when they're at a point where they're going to say it's done, we're not changing anything now on a mechanical level. So if that were the case, then the game is close to completion. Strange. Just in time for another 2 says, don't get me wrong, I'm mahogany hard for Half-Life 3. Yeah, I bet you are, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm just speculating here that I think it could potentially be bigger than anything we've seen previously, because of the fact that it is a legend. Like, everyone knows GTA 6 is coming out. And when it releases, it will be probably the biggest release. I just think it will... I don't know what I mean. I just think it would snap the internet culturally. In the world of real gaming, of real gamers, if you want, hardcore TM gamers, it would be like the second coming of Christ, to the Christians. So I feel like in that respect, it would be bigger because no one expects it, including me. But fair point. Yeah. And we got a couple more. Fucking hell. All right, suddenly blown up. Raging D-Head for 5 more. I told her comment about Smash was ill-advised and hypocritical. Right. Yes. Well, I think basically every comment that she's made about Smash, pretty much ever, has been ill-advised and hypocritical. I mean, almost every word in the LOL suit is ill-advised and hypocritical. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, the problem is, unfortunately, she can't stand a second of anyone not floating her, wretched little ego. You have to agree with her at all times about everything. You have to be constantly reinforcing her, or you're harassing her. It's a broken logic, train of logic, because it literally allows you to hyperextend harassment to absolutely anything, which of course does not work, because that's not how harassment works. Harassment is things like calling people's wives and, getting their channels taken down and stuff like that. Whereas just talking shit about some bint on the internet saying some really, really crazy, wild crap is pretty much just harmless. And you don't have to engage with it. It's like when she said that she was being harassed in the comments and the super chats on SNH that time, saying it was sexual harassment. She had to opt in to even hear about it. That's like getting pissed off at people gossiping about you in high school, but having to crawl into the air vents to hear them doing it. Like, you've done that to yourself, buddy. You know? So, yeah, well said. James up for $5 says her Steam stream was being monitored by people and she really did not realize, and let's say she did not impress anyone, all I'm saying on it. Well, we've seen that play out a few times now. There's usually a few people she'd rather not have there. There's always a few people we'd rather not have here. There's definitely a few of her people always watching everything that Hypno Smash and to a lesser extent I and Ryan do, and yeah, it is what it is, you know. They're just looking for something to use. But at the end of the day, she's really just desperate to remain relevant at this point. And it's not going to last because you can't do this stuff artificially. It just doesn't work. The internet it runs on organic authenticity. As I always say, authenticity is the currency of the internet. And if you have to construct paradoxical fucking bubbles around yourself of echo chambers to have everyone agree with you all the bloody time, you are not being authentic. You are not allowing authenticity to propagate in your stream, in your reality, in your periphery, and you'll never make it on the internet like that. You got to be yourself. You got to be yourself, warts and all. I mean, I'm completely myself on the internet. I don't warts and all. Like, you know, I'm kind of goofy, and that's never going to change. So, you know, that's part of who I am, and there's elements of myself I would rather have that be different to be a YouTuber. But I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. And I'm certainly not going to ban people who criticize me. I'll just take their criticism and tell them what to do with it, if I agree or disagree. In any case, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you, bud. Silver Bullet Lycan for $5 says, I think the popularity of Half-Life only comes from the memes of Half-Life 3 confirmed. I don't really care for the games. I just find it funny. Ah. Well, interesting. Oh, you're talking lawsuit people, James? Okay. Yeah, Silver Bullet Lycan, I guess a lot of people are like that. It is a legend at this point, so it would be like a prophecy fulfilled. I just feel like it would... anyone who's, say, 30 years old or older on the internet has probably played, heard of, or seen Half-Life 1 and 2. And, yeah, the memes would certainly help. I'm not necessarily saying it would be completely deserved, but I still feel like it would just destruct the internet completely. It would interrupt the flow of the internet for a day or two. Like, totally. It would be all anyone is talking about for a while. In gaming, anyway. But it is funny. Yeah, it is. And I would be laughing. As a person, again, who likes the games, but isn't like a diehard super mega ultra fan. I think I haven't played Half-Life 2 since 2004 on someone else's PC because I didn't even have a good enough PC back then. So yeah, it's not like I was ever that super duper committed to it, but I would be enjoying the scene if it happened, and I'd like to see it, if only for that. But there you go, and thank you for the 5. Also, well, bugger me, we have hit the goal right out of nowhere. We were like real slow start today, and then we just bang smashed through it. Well, I still owe you for yesterday, so we'll have some titties and some disco.
Come here, baby, let me show something good, something good, something good, something good.
money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, more money, 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 heaps and heaps of money, 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 print money, money, cash, money, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no-code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think that booby clip is a bit long now. It's like I may have to push it back to the extreme end of donos to justify it. But money, that guys is sticking around for when we fill the bar. Anyway, so Adam Juman is here for $5 as well. Thank you very much, buddy. Says I hadn't heard of Half-Life until last year, and I am 43. Jesus, really? That's actually kind of surprising to me. I don't think I know anyone who's never heard of Half-Life, or I didn't think I knew anyone who'd never heard of Half-Life, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago. Obviously back then would have been easier. Yeah, Half-Life was a big deal. It was a real boundary breaker for PC gaming when it first came out, and the sequel was even better and opened up all these plots about like the G-Man and the mystery of him and stuff like that. So and of course the memes are so prolific that you look at the memes of today that are taking over the internet, like stuff like Skibbity Toilet, and you've got a major character in that is the G-Man with his face all warped out. So I'd say culturally the impact is massive. It's kind of amazing that you managed to get to 43 or 42 before you heard of Half-Life. But hey, stranger things have happened. There are weird gaps in my logic as well, in my knowledge, that I didn't have until I hadn't filled until recently as well. It happens to all people all the time. But there you go, buddy. Now you do. Anyway, and thank you. And Silver Bullock Lightcan for $5 says, I'm 35, will be 36 in 3 days from today. I've played a tiny bit of Half-Life 2 and didn't care for it. Well, fair enough. To each his own, I guess. Some games are Marmite. I don't think Half-Life 2 quite qualifies as that. It's more like peanut butter. Not that many people don't like it, but some don't. Yeah, you're 35, are you? Congratulations on turning 36 very soon. I will myself be turning 40 in mid-June. So look out for some kind of birthday stream event for that as well. And thank you very much for the 5. Stop by when it is your birthday. Eris Rhoda, hello, how are you? £2 says, oh, I got all wound up. I thought Park Life. Like the Blur song? Okay, cool. And fair enough. It's a good song. It's one of my favorite songs from Blur. It's a good one. All right. Last thing then on the list before we wrap up the stream for today, we are going to talk a little bit about Expedition 33, which I swear to God, nothing will stand in my way. I am playing that fucking game today at some point. Oh, I just need a bit more sleep because lately I have been getting like 2 hours at a time and it's not really good. I'm completely running on caffeine at the moment. That's why there's not been many videos made because I just haven't had time. It's going to be like that, by the way, for the next few weeks as we get closer and closer to the birth of my second daughter. So just be warned, I am trying my best to keep up with the schedule that I promised to people, but there will be interruptions. It's crazy time around here at the moment, and obviously with Dad being physically impaired as well, it's not helping. But you guys are with the Give Send Go. It's been very helpful. Thank you so much to everybody who has generously donated to that. We're 3/5 of the way there, and getting closer every day. But in the meantime, I need to finish this blasted game so that I can move on to other games. I promised I'd play another Zelda this year at some point. I promised Dramatical we'd get some Zelda time. So I got to do that too. And I definitely need to get through Expedition 33 this month, which is impossible. So in the next 2 weeks, I'd say, absolute outside. Adam Juman is here for $5. Says in the military, the only thing I paid attention to was the big games like Madden and COD. Right. Okay. So yeah, you fell into kind of normie territory there. And that's totally understandable. Being in the military, there's not a lot of time, I would imagine, for geeking out about really, really gamer games. So you never know. I mean, hey, if you haven't played Half-Life, give it a go. You might find that you really enjoy it. By now, it's ultra retro and could probably do with a massive remaster itself, but and see if you can enjoy it. You might find it's something you really dig. It's very cool. Very ahead of its time. And some barracks bunnies, maybe, yeah. All right, so we talked about this a little bit on WTF Live, but I wanted to acknowledge it again because it really is a great little thing to see, and also eerily poetic and coincidental, this business of the 33s, because they have managed to achieve 3.3 million copies sold. And first of all, fuck yes, absolute justice for good video games. Yes, yes, yes. All the yeses. Yes, yes, yes. Absolute fucking yes for Expedition 33. A great game, proving so many things to so many ignorant game executives, people from bloody Square Enix who refused to continue making Final Fantasy games the way that they had been. They got rid of Hironobu Sakaguchi. Tetsuya Nomura took over the series, and suddenly it was Kingdom Hearts with more emo. It's been nauseating for years. Meanwhile, this comes out, tells a great story. Not that different, actually, from a story of, say, something like a Final Fantasy X. At least at face value, anyway. And then, you know, it comes out, it blows people's minds right out of nowhere. And in 33 days, Expedition 33 got 3.3 million copies. That's spooky. That is spooky. Wait, what? What's Lilith talking about being unblocked? I don't understand what's going on here. Whatever. Anyway, it's amazing. And you just love to see not only Samful Games obviously coming out of Ubisoft, being tired of the AAA game industry, being tired of the game industry in general. You know, you've got all this stuff. But then you get just these humble people. I don't know if you've watched any of the background stuff. I watched a bit about the voice actors doing their performances and stuff. Of course, I'm not watching a lot of content about Expedition 33 because I refuse to have it spoiled for me. And it's really getting a bit hard to do that now because everyone's making videos talking about the ending and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh God, get out of my feed. I'll binge all of them when I finished it. But it's just a glorious thing. Like, we couldn't make that up. Thank you all. Tomorrow comes, you know, just gracious, glad, hardworking, passionate game developers who dared to try something and hit the fucking biggest home run we've seen. I've pointed this out. This isn't a game of the year. This is a game of a generation. This is a genre definer. This is proof positive that JRPGs, besides Persona, can be AAA and be turn-based and be, you know, slow and story-driven and have traditional things like world maps that you can walk around on and stuff like that. Straight out of 90s JRPGs brought into the modern day. What's this? You sent me a DM? What's this? Let me see. Oh, wow. That's cool. You got all three parts of Nier. Very nice. Do you want me to share it? I can share the tab just quickly. Boom. There we go. We can see it. Very nice. Well done. Good games. Anyway, congratulations on that one, buddy. But yeah, so it's just glorious to see here that sometimes things go right, sometimes things go the way they should, This has just reminded me that I need to go buy one of these in a bit after this stream. Mrs. is craving it. And oh, look at that. Pal World jumps in and congratulates them. Deserved every sale. One of the best games I've ever played, and I've played a lot of them. So this is what I mean. It's a genre redefiner. Except, I mean, it's not. It's just a big fuck you as well to the people who have been telling us for 20 years that we don't want these exact kind of games. And the reality is, no, you idiots, we do. We never stopped wanting these. That's why Suikoden Remastered was a thing. Those were great to play. Go buy them so we can get more. And play this too. Under no circumstances should anyone miss out on this game. Even if you think turn-based games are not really your thing, there's enough action triggers and stuff with the fucking irritatingly difficult parry system that anyone will have fun with this game. Anyone will have a really deep and engaging time with this game. Go play it. It is a great achievement for them. I'm trying desperately not to accidentally scroll down and find out any spoilers. Everyone's saying game of the year. I'm saying game of the decade, or maybe even of all time, right? I mean, the reality is it's that kind of thing. It's way bigger than game of the year. When we get to the real game awards this year, this game is going to win. I will be shocked if it doesn't. It would take a miracle for anything, not a miracle, a disaster for anything to beat it. This game has hit people right in that sweet spot where gamers like to be hit. Pardon the, imagery maybe. Where the gameplay is tight, the story is driving you forward, and the characters are well performed. The general experience is polished, and it hits a part of your brain that relies on intelligence and reflexes at the same time to be able to play it properly. It's just great. It's just great. Absolutely fantastic. And the other thing, of course, lastly about this is the fact that it has also managed to felt Ubisoft a fair bit, which they should, because they came from there. They must be really pissed off with Ubisoft to have done what they've done. And Ubisoft, of course, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, did not ever tell anyone how many copies they sold of Assassin's Creed Shadows. They only talk about player engagement, which is a very nebulous thing that doesn't really tell anyone anything useful. Nothing that you might want to know anyway. So there you go. They felted Ubisoft in the process by just talking about how many copies they sold. I guarantee you at this point, Expedition 33 has outsold Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't care what any shill site says. I don't believe that they've sold 3 million copies of Assassin's Creed Shadows. No way. Or they'd be telling us. They would. There's no reason for them to not tell you that. But when they've said they've got 3 million players, and then they have to go, oh, we sold 1.5 million copies, that goes down and makes them look ridiculous. And they won't risk that. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's it. That's it for the show today. I am done. We have had a good one. We've had a good couple of hours. Eris Rhoda is here for £2. Says I'm so turn-based. It isn't even my turn yet. Get onto it, buddy. Yeah. And thank you for the 2. Thank you, guys, everybody, for the kind donations. Appreciate you. You guys went crazy right in the last sort of 20, 25 minutes. Adam Juman, Justin Time, Silver Bullet Lycan, Raging D-Head, and all of you guys again. James Opp as well. Adam Juman, Silver Bullet Lycan, Eris Road, Adam Juman, James Opp again, Raging D-Head again, Justin Time again, and Eris Rhoda again. Thank you all very, very much. Well, I will be back in 12 hours time with WTF Live. Before that, I will stream Expedition 33, or I'm going to smack my head into a brick wall or something, because it just ain't worth it anymore. In the meantime, I'm going to be sending you over to Hypnocast, so stick around. I'll be running the credits now, and I will catch you on the next one. I'll be back with this show tomorrow, same time, of course, as well. See you in 12 hours for WTF Live with John, possibly nobody as well if he's interested. And until then, thank you again. Take care now, and bye-bye then.